And I just got done talking about Buddhism and Christ, the teachings of Christ in Buddhism, particularly the Catholic Church, also on my previous video. But since I still have time here while waiting for Venerable Vasu, I wanted to talk about what's going on with the Eucharist, the body and blood of Christ, and the saints, and how people believe, why people believe in the intercession of saints, right? So this is from my view and perspective in my life, in my 36 years. In Vietnam, I'm 37, Chinese calendar, so you add another year. So, one would say that, yeah, he's lived about half of his life. But however, I live my life very closely monitored and with mindfulness. So I pay attention to stories and things and deaths and ghosts and what people are talking about. And so when it comes to the Eucharist, since we're here at the retired church, experiencing Jesus, the body of Jesus, and I want you all to reflect on the signs and symbols and some of these religious things that people do, not just in the Catholic world, but also in Buddhism, of the strings when we chant together. I have this power cord right here. You can drag it over, right? If you ever see Buddhist monks chant, we usually have this string, right? And all of the Buddhist monks hold the string together like this, and we chant. And what does that mean? And then the lay people also hold the same string that all of us are chanting together. So it's no different than you tasting the body and blood of Christ. As an analogy, a concept I'm trying to paint, a picture I'm trying to paint here, is that it would be dry and difficult to conceive, difficult to understand fully, to experience fully, if there is no symbols and signs to taste and smell. In incense, in Buddhism we have incense and stuff. But what's happening here is that you are renewing yourself, renewing your faith and belief, and receiving God, and renewing yourself in keeping the commandments and reminding ourselves that we are children of Christ, okay? So and then before that, hopefully there's confession in the Catholic world where, you got to clear your plate, right? Clear your plate so that you can receive Christ's purity and integrity of your life, to hold you responsible, the karma that you're creating for you. In Buddhism, the sharing of the merits. So when we're holding that string and we're chanting, we're transferring the merits to each and every single one of you who is holding the string. Now the merits gets transferred regardless if you're holding the string or not. But it just feels comfort for the people. I know that feeling because I used to be a layperson, getting the white wristband, the blessing from the monk. And what the monk is hoping that you do is that, number one, be good, don't do bad, purify your mind, give more and take less. Very simple, no different than what Christ has been teaching all of you, is to serve the needy, the poor. If you want to follow Christ, get rid of everything, and then follow him. Those were his words, right? See, you can take one thing, like my favorite one, never tired of forgiving, never tired of asking for forgiveness, and that alone could take an entire lifetime to master and to practice. Nonetheless, the entire Bible, okay? And no different in Buddhism. When we summarize all 84,000 teachings, 45 of our Bibles, 45 years of teaching, into don't do bad, do good, and purify your mind. And we're into the details of that. What I just told you is well, what does it mean not to do bad? Don't cheat, don't lie, don't kill, don't steal, refrain from sexual misconduct, intoxicating substances, the cheating, the lying, the stealing, And people side with the lawyer in their head. They're like, no, he did wrong to me, so I'm gonna do wrong to him, an eye for an eye. See, that's why my thing is always awareness of the lawyer in our head. So when we come to church and monasteries, when we give and when we receive the blood and body of Christ, and we go to monasteries and we get these blessings and recite the precept to experience fully in the presence of the Buddha, to experience fully in the presence of God, So renew yourself, start over. It's a reminder to start over. All right, fine, you cheated this week, we get it. God gets it. Buddha gotcha, okay? The Buddha once partied just like the rest of us, okay? He was human, he bled like us, okay? Christ also bled, okay? The thorn around his head, okay? They know. Turn around, turn your life around. Believe, the power of believing, the power of faith, the power of conviction. Start all over again. I had to do it. Was I a sinner? Yes, I was a sinner. Like all of us were sinners. Have any one of you seen the Pope recently? Went to a prison for women. Washed their feet and kissed their feet. Held their feet and kissed their feet. Have you seen Cardinal Donald Wuerl, for example? Do the same, replicate the same. Because that's what Jesus did. The power of forgiving. The power of forgiving the narrative, the stories, the things that we did not know what we did. You couldn't do any better if you didn't know any better. But when you come to church or monastery, now you know how to do better. What is a sin is you keep on doing harmful things to yourself and other people when you know that that's not what God wants you to do, when you know that's what Buddha don't want you to do. It's unwholesome, we call it in Buddhism. Unwholesome, akusala karma. And in the Catholic world, it's a sin. And what is a sin, by the way? Don't get carried away with the word sin. The word sin means you missed the point. And how many people in life miss the point? Don't miss the point. Don't miss the point. If you don't know how to live, consult with your priest. If you don't know how to live, consult with the bishop. If you don't know how to live, open the Bible. If you don't know how to live, open the Nikayas. Us, Buddhism, Nikaya. Okay? If you don't know how to live, consult a monk. If you don't know how to live, find a meditation center. Okay? Don't try to figure it out on your own. Because if Christ and Buddha was standing next to me, you know, the Buddha standing right here and Jesus Christ standing right here next to me, they would ask you, all three of us would ask you this, actually. We would say, Tom, Dick, and Harry, Karen, Rebecca, and Susan, how well has that been working out for you? How well have that been working out for you? Right. So one needs to answer that honestly. How well have you been trying to manage your life and finance and raising the kids without the use of the Bible, without the use of the Nikayas? Okay? How well? I don't know. I don't live your life. I don't eat with y'all. I don't party with y'all. I don't have a drink with y'all. I don't play Monopoly with y'all. I don't play Jack, Spade, whatever it is y'all do. We got 227 rules. But when you're honest with yourself, be honest with yourself. Right now, through the screen as you're watching. Yeah, I don't know how to manage. I don't know how to manage my emotions. This girl driving me crazy. Venerable, my husband done left me. I'm not paying child support. I just got out of prison. I just got a felony conviction. Okay, then give up, right? You followed your own ways in your old days. You got busted. I don't care if the police busted you. You busted yourself. You got caught within your own mind, your own consciousness, your moral conscience told you that was wrong. So guess what? Give up. Give up. Give up. So easy giving up. You know, when you watch these police shootings, they're like, show me your hands, show me your hands. It's like giving up. You'll have your day with the judge. But people still don't want to show their hands. They don't want to surrender. So what happens? It cost them their life. So what happens if you don't surrender in your life to a good working philosophy? See, I'm not here to sell you all Christ, sell you all Buddhism. I'm not here to tell you go with Christ or Buddha or whatever. I don't care what you chose. What I care is working out for you. You're bringing peace to yourself and other people. You're giving back to the community. You're doing good, not doing bad, and purifying your minds. That's all I care about. I don't care if you go with Allah, Vishnu, Shiva. I don't care. I don't care. I care about you. So, let me circle back around. I'm kind of like repeating myself on the last talk. Let me circle back around about the Saint program and the sainthood. Now, in my country, we have Father Francisco Xavier, where they pray to him. and the Virgin Mary. And we've had instances where we've seen the Virgin Mary cry. The world has made Virgin Mary cry. People do the things that they do in your city, in our community, and have made Jesus cry, made Buddha cry. Have you seen the art of the Buddha trying to sew up the world with thread and needle, and the world's falling apart and in flames, right? The fire sermon. I cry. You all know I cry? I cry a lot. I cry in the shower. When I'm in the shower, I reflect on when I'm trying to renew myself and said, when I'm in the shower and elsewhere around my house and sometimes at night, I do pray to Jesus. I said, oh, Jesus, please give me the strength to carry on another day of all these students driving me crazy. You know, to ask for strength, inner strength. And sometimes I do listen to Christian music. It's so uplifting. Ever listen to Christian music? Ever hear a monk tell you all he listens to Christian music? Now you have. You know, so they go and they pray to these saints of latter day and all of the hundreds of saints that have been canonized. How beautiful that the miracles does in fact work. The miracles does in fact work. That's why they keep on praying. Now, let's play devil's advocate. Is Vietnamese people delusional? Is Vietnamese people out of their mind? Thai people, Laos people, all the Southeast Asian people, are they out of their mind to pray to a statue? Think again. Your furniture is made in Vietnam. Your brother computer is made in Vietnam. Uniden is made in Vietnam. We have a gal here that used to be a truck driver. Uniden. CB radios made in Vietnam. So contracts, law enforcement, clothing, Blackhawk, 511, Hollister, Aristotle is made in Vietnam. So the U.S. got contracts for Vietnamese people to make their products for law enforcement and military. Do you think our people is out of our mind praying to saints, praying to statues of Christ or certain saints that was made in the Virgin Mary and so on? Think again. My job is to make you think. I'm not telling you to go find a statue and start praying, but think about it. It's worked. It gives people hope. Many people have stopped themselves from jumping the bridge because somebody interceded. We've got ghosts on television. We've got angels coming down, people who are on death, dying bed. We've got stories, and I've shared those stories lately on my TikTok about my own ghost stories. Ghosts, spirits, they're around. So again, don't buy into this secularism where they're like, oh, Christ is not real. They made it up. Man wrote the Bible. The saints are not real. No, I'm telling you they're real. I'm telling you they're real. It's just, who wants to tell me I'm out of my mind today? Exactly. Right? The monk that inspired millions and still counting is telling you, because he also asked for them to come down and intercede in the midst of his own programs in counseling suicidal teens. So, the last talk was on the teachings of Christ and Buddha, how they contribute education to world peace and moral and ethical compass. And this teaching, hopefully you all will look closely about the arahants in our Buddhist world and the saints in the Catholic world and how they have interceded for people, giving them the blessings, the strength to carry on, and the conversations that these people had with those saints, right? Because the arahants are saints. We have 4 stages of sainthood, and the Catholic world also have stages of their sainthood. So again, it's amazing that you go and research it. Look, you're not to believe me. The Kalama Sutta says, and the Buddha says, don't even believe me. And if I was a Buddha now standing here, you still should not believe me, do not believe me. You are to investigate for yourself. And resources include, go to Barnes & Noble. There's this book called Saints. I just bought it for my teachings. It's not here. I'm in Arizona, not Florida. But we'll expand more on it. Venerable Vasu just joined us, so we'll take some more pictures up here in this sacred, magnificent, historic building. And I hope that these talks bring you all closer to interfaith, closer to Christ and Buddha. And if you veer off into other faith and religion, you all have my love, you all have my blessing. I want to learn more. When you speak, I am the student. I know this much. I don't think I know it all. So I hope to hear from all of you, and until the very next time. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I get really passionate with these talks.